Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Bilal and today we're going to talk about the commodity chain project. The commodity I have chosen is banana. We're going to take a look at where the plantation of banana is done and how it is being exported to United States from Ecuador. Let's take a brief look at banana industry in Ecuador. Diversity in export, cacao industry crash. This basically explains uh, cacao industry was the major product earlier in Ecuador and it crashed. So Ecuador was looking for another commodity that could be exported, and banana seemed to be a great one because it is grown better in that condition. From 1944 to 1948, there was a boom in industry, and United Food Products moved to the Ecuador, and they were doing some technological and shipping advancement in that country. It is a high ROI. It stands for return on investment. That's 20%. If you invest a certain amount, you are expected to get back that investment within 4 years. It is contributing to 61% of the agriculture GDP, which is a huge chunk. Uh, and up here in figure, it shows the production and export. So the first line will show you the total production of the banana, and the second line will show you the total export. So approximately 95 to 90% is being exported, and only less amount is used for the domestic use. This slide shows you the commodity chain. We have the growers, which are basically the farmers in the plantation, and then we have some packing done and transported to the local port where it is being shipped, unloaded and loaded, and then shipped to the ripening facility. And then we have from distribution center, it goes to the retail center, such as Kroger, Giant Eagle, or whichever companies orders them. So So the first step we have is the plantation. Local farmers and the major plantation are responsible for growing bananas. Uh, One of the major or small scale plantation is in Quito, Ecuador. They are basically responsible for irrigating these lands and providing and taking care of the fertilizers and pesticide being used. The environmental impact is the deforestation because of the high demand and extensification is being used, that is using more land to extend or extensify this huge plantations. The pesticide use also causes the negative impact on the environment. The ecosystem gets disturbed when you try to uh, cut down the forest, and the whole idea of biodiversity comes into play. Water pollution, the plantation, or any agriculture products are number one source of water pollution. Uh, because of the fertilizers being used, they contain the nitrogen and phosphorus, which are causing the algae blooms if they run into water streams, and also causes the underground water pollution. Government intervention also comes into play because government is trying to basically secure this huge industry. So they will try several methods such as the acreage control and a price ceiling. So the certain price cannot go below certain uh, set price by the government, and the acreage control is trying to keep certain land out of the plantation to keep the prices high. Export oriented production, as we have seen in the previous figure, the majority of the bananas are being exported to other countries, and only few percent is left for the domestic use. The second stage, if you want to call, is a packing stage. Up here, the bananas are measured for the certain length to see if they are healthy, uh, and certain length and width. They are sliced out to see randomly if there is any bad bananas, and the whole batch is taken off. Usually, they are within the 1 mile radius of the plantation itself. So there can be like cable wire or cable pulleys running around the plantation to take those bananas and bring it back to the packing station. After spraying them with and cleaning them, they are being packed into paper boxes and plastic bags. The environmental impact would be the use of non-recycled boxes. If you want to think about the upstream, it will cause more deforestation because more paper is needed. And the plastic bags, if they are not recycled, then it will cause more landfills to go overfill and basically they are not degradable plastic, so that will create some more issues. The working condition of the employees at this location doesn't seem to be very appealing because she is happily spraying the chemical without wearing any mask and safety goggles, so that comes also into play. After packing, the bananas are handed over to the third party, which is the transportation. The third step we have is the transportation. They are basically responsible for transferring the bananas from the packing side to the port, and it is usually done by the trucks or by road. And the environmental impact would be the air pollution by burning of the fossil fuel, of course. Um, and then we have the noise pollution as a lot of trucks are moving out of the facility. They might disturb the residents. So these are the two environmental impact we have. The fourth step in the value chain is loading port. The truck will drop the boxes to the port, basically the banana boxes. And if the plantation is in Quito, the closest port would be Manta, Ecuador. The pelletized boxes, 53 per box, pellet are unloaded from the truck and loaded into these shipping containers using this forklifter. One last time, it might be inspected by the custom official, and the environmental impact would be the sulfur dioxide and the nitrogen dioxide emissions. Since ship uses like sulfur enriched oil, they might be more responsible for polluting the environment. We have water pollution, soil pollution, and noise pollution. The water pollution would be the oil spill. For example, the potential oil spill will create a water pollution. The soil pollution would be, again, if that oil is the nearby coastal areas, would also create some soil pollution and noise pollution. Poor working conditions, health problems, underpaid workers, they're not very skilled. They're just shown one time to how to run machines, and then they're set free to load and unload. Uh, and the health also comes into play of these workers. The fifth step we have this in this stage is the unloading port. That will be if these bananas are being shipped from Manta, Ecuador. They will be the unloading port will be the Santiago port in California. They are responsible for unloading the containers and the pallets, as you can see in this picture. And after unloading them, they are assigned the rail or road routes. All information, of course, is being recorded into computers and to basically make the logistics system more efficient. Environmental impact would be same as the previous port, but the working condition I believe would be a little bit improved because we have some laws in United States regarding labor laws. So the pollution again would be the same: air pollution, water pollution, soil and noise pollution would be the same. The sixth step we have is the ripening. Uh, they are responsible for receiving the pallet boxes that were being unloaded at the dock. These boxes are being assigned to the different location within the facility, and after ripening of the bananas, they are being inspected, repacked, order is picked, and then they are delivered to a specific location. The environmental impact is a little bit important because of the use of ethylene gas that is used for ripening the bananas. It causes air pollution and it is degraded by ultraviolet rays when it is released into the environment. And the negative impact is it reduces the ozone layer. So we don't want to reduce the ozone layer because more radiation will come to the earth then. So that is one of the negative impact for these gases. The seventh step we have is the distribution part, responsible for receiving the ripening bananas from the companies. So the orders from retail stores like Kroger, Giant Eagle, etc. are being processed at this location. It is very similar to the ripening facility, but Again, this is the separate compartment where the distribution parts take place to make the logistic more efficient. Newly created or the same pallets are being dispatched into the refrigerated trucks to the specific store. This is the eighth and the final step in the commodity chain of bananas. Uh, Retail stores are responsible for receiving the orders and putting them on shelf, assigning the prices and making sure they have some little bit of profit. Consumers are able to buy the fresh bananas off the shelf. Some bananas are green, others are a little bit yellowish. Uh, Again, that is for extended life for the bananas off the shelf. This is basically the environmental and other miscellaneous impact of this whole transaction from Ecuador to the United States. How bananas are being transported and what are the environmental effect and what are the human right or the labor effect. Up here, I just want to highlight few is the deforestation as we talked about in this presentation, and the loss of soil fertility, loss of biodiversity, water and soil pollution. We have the human rights, poor working condition, the wages of banana workers, and harassment of union leaders. If somebody tries to stand out, they will probably get knocked down pretty easily. Lack of respect for the workers' right of association unionization is not very encouraged in these countries. Child labor is very extensive. Sexual harassment of the woman worker is pretty common in these areas, and you might want to look at other development and peace uh, impact it has on the along the way from this whole during this whole transaction. This is the commodity chain activity map I have created using Google Maps. Up here is the Ecuador, which is the producer, and up here would be the Guido plantation, and then we have here is the Manta port, Santiago port, and San Jose, I believe. Uh, this is the link. If you want to follow this link, it will be more interactive, I believe, rather than just looking at this map. These are the resources that I've used to create this project. Again, the whole idea of the project was to show uh, for a simple commodity such as banana where it is produced and how it is produced, what are the transportation means, how it is transported to the consumer, and what are several peoples that are being affected, and how environment is also negatively or positively impacted by the simple commodity. Hopefully you like this project, and thanks for your time and have a great day.